Hi, my name is Patty and I'm doing a baking challenge. I release a video every Friday. Welcome to this week's video. Now, let's find out what I'm baking this week.
Not this one. Black Forest cake.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today we are making Black Forest cake. I've made this cake once before, not quite like I'm going to do today. I'm going to use my regular chocolate cake recipe, and then I'm going to soak the chocolate layers with some cherry juice that I'm going to make by using some jam and water. That's just one way you can do it. You can also do it with fresh or frozen berries and then just blend it with some water. Use it with some sugar syrup and add the cherry pulp to the syrup, or you can buy just cherry juice. I didn't find it in the supermarket, so I'm using the jam and some water since I didn't want to use the sugar syrup, otherwise it would get too sweet. So I'm also doing a cherry filling. I'm using cherries from a jar, so I'm going to make a filling. I think it's the typical cherry filling, the German recipe, and then I'm going to do the chantilly frosting. Let's see how it goes, and I hope we have a delicious cake in the end of the video. Let's do this. Let's start by making the cake. Cocoa powder, and this is very important. It should be sifted. This cake is very chocolatey. This is my usual chocolate cake, and I thought about doing another recipe, but then I thought this is my favorite recipe and I'm probably going to regret doing another one, so this is what I'm doing. So all of these big lumps should be eliminated. A pinch of salt, baking soda, brown sugar. Give it a quick stir. And now I'm going to add soft butter. For our liquids, I have here some coffee. I'm gonna add some vanilla extract, some oil, and now the eggs. I should do this before I start mixing. I don't want the layers to be very tall, so I'm going to use this baking pan that's wider. So I'm gonna grease all tins. Now I'm gonna get some cocoa. Pans are ready. I'm gonna be using the paddle. Okay, that's enough. Already looking sandy. So now we can start adding our liquids. So we are going to add 2/3 of our liquids, the ones that we just mixed before. So we're going to start slowly. And then we are going to medium-high speed. Batter is looking good. Need to scrape it. I'm gonna do this so it doesn't splash. The batter is looking very, very good, very glossy. So now we just need to add the buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, which usually we can't find it here in Portugal. I just used milk and either lemon or vinegar. So for 1 cup of milk, I usually add 1 tablespoon of lemon or vinegar. That's enough. As you can see, the batter is quite liquid. So these are 24 centimeter wide baking pans, and I have 3 here. My oven is preheated at 170 degrees Celsius. Now that the cake is in the oven, we can start making the filling. For that, we are going to use these cherries. I bought them at Aldi. Sugar and cornstarch. Okay, so now we're going to add the cherry syrup. And now I have here half a small lemon. And add the juice. Now we're going to have to heat this up, and for that I'm going to take this to the stove and we are going to boil it. Wait a couple of minutes for the starch to thicken and cook, and then we'll add the cherries. Stir it so that nothing gets stuck at the bottom of the pan. It's already much thicker and it's boiling. Let's give it a couple of minutes so that we are sure that the cornstarch is fully cooked. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna add a pinch of cinnamon. Now we can dip the cherries in and stir them so that they are coated in this syrup. It smells really good, looking pretty good. The sauce is ready. I'm going to transfer it into another bowl so that it can cool before we use it in our cake. I need to have the juice so I can soak the cake, but I don't have any cherry juice and I don't want to use any alcohol, so I'm thinking if I add some water to this and if I blend it, let me see what I get. Okay, let's taste this. Yep, I think I can add more because we are going to need this for 3 layers of cake. Okay, I think this is better. I had to bake them in a couple of batches. So here is one of the cakes, another one, and there's another one in the oven. They were in the oven for 22 minutes. It depends on the size of your baking pan. This one is 24 centimeters wide. So if yours is a bit smaller, it should take a bit longer to bake. I've never used this batter with this greasing and flouring technique. I usually add the baking spray, so this is not as easy to unmold. I'm going to refrigerate the cakes so that they are cool when I assemble the cake. So I'm wrapping them in plastic like this. It worked. Yeah, a little bit stuck here, but could be worse. So all we need to do is our chantilly and assemble the cake. And also we are going to add some chocolate decoration, but now we need to cool these cakes. I have the other two here. So our cake layers are ready and our cherry filling is ready and our juice to soak the layers is also ready. So now I'm going to do the chantilly, and I'm going to use this chantifix thing just so that the cream is a bit firmer. I don't usually use this, but I'm gonna try it today. Usually for the cakes, I don't use just plain chantilly. I add some mascarpone to the chantilly because I want the frosting to be a bit stable. So I'm going to need 150 grams of powdered sugar. It's also an option to add gelatin to the chantilly, but I'm not a fan of the texture, so I usually don't do that. I've done it before, but didn't like it a lot, so I'm trying to do something different this time. So 800 grams of cream. It should be at least 12 hours in the fridge before you use it, otherwise it might not whip up. Let's whip this for like a minute and then we'll add the sugar mixture. Make sure to scrape all the sugar. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of cherry flavor and vanilla. Okay, I think this is enough. Seems pretty thick now. So now all the components are done. Pastry bag. I'm gonna use this one. Fold it, and then we just need to fill it. I'm gonna use a turntable. A little bit of chantilly here. Gonna poke some little holes for the cake to absorb the juice easily. Here's our filling. Wow, it's pretty thick. If I do this again, I won't add as much cornstarch. It's too thick for me. As you can see, it's pretty thick. I would like it to be a little bit looser. Okay. I don't need as much here inside as I will need in the border. I'm gonna use one of my favorite tools here, the offset spatula, just to spread this layer of cream. And I'm going to add the cherry filling here inside. Now I'm going to go with a bit more cream, just so that I can smooth this a bit. And I'm also going to pipe a border. Ready for the next layer. Oops, it's a bit on the side. I'm gonna spread this cream here on the sides. The most typical thing to use here in this soaking liquid is cherry liquor. but I'm not a fan of tasting alcohol in my cake, so I'm choosing not to use it. Chantilly border. And now we have room here for our cherry filling. Last layer. It would be good to freeze the layers when assembling, but since I wanted the cake syrup to soak into the cake, I didn't freeze the layers. I'm not going to add more cream here, so let me see if it's straight. Okay, I might leave the sides like this. I'm also going to add some cherries on top and also some chocolate shavings. As I said, it would be better with fresh cherries, but it's not cherry season, so. Okay, that's it. We just need some chocolate. Let's add some chocolate dust. I'm gonna try and add a little bit to the sides. Here's our cake. I'm going to show you another perspective. And this is how it's looking. Okay, it's time to slice our cake. Here it is after nearly 4 hours in the fridge. Let's see how it slices. I'm going to cut 2 slices. This is a very, very large slice. I was trying to see if I could have it standing up, but no. Okay, no, I can't have it standing up. It's too tall. 2 slices. Now all we need to do is taste it. It's time to taste. I have here one of the slices. So let's try it. My husband is already trying as well. I mean, the chocolate cake is the one that I'm used to making. Could have more of a cherry filling. And that filling, as I said before, it has too much cornstarch for my taste. And the texture is really gets like jelly-like, which I don't like. And I realize now that one of the layers should have more chantilly than it has. I forgot to put more on top, of the second layer. Fresh cherries, it would be even better. Yeah, it's a good cake. I love chocolate cake. You could have more flavor of cherries in the cake itself, like the juice that I added. I don't think it added much flavor. My husband says the same thing, that it could have more cherry, but it's better than the usual. That's it for today. I'll be back next Friday, and it's going to be one of the last ones. I have 2 more after this, and then this challenge is over. So let me know what you would like to see in this channel, which types of videos. That would help a lot. Okay, thanks, and bye. See you next week.